playing small does not serve the world. And so I'm going to begin by getting us in like a cool mind-body state. Then I would love to spit it a little bit about why we should stop playing small and the things that are holding us back. And then I'm going to tell a little bit about my story, my why, right? And then my other goal is to give you as many awesome tools that you can use in your life that when you start to feel small, when things start to happen and you want to be motivated out of that place, you want to feel bigger, you want to feel better, I want to just over-deliver, give as much as I fucking can, and hopefully you can take so much from this so that we don't play small. So right now, Mother Earth needs us. We need us. That's part of my why. I want to save the world. And so I can't do that if I'm filled with insecurities and lack of confidence and lack of beliefs. And all of these beliefs came usually as we were children and we didn't know any better, etc., right? All right, so before we begin, I'd like for us to can we collectively take a breath and exhale with a sound, yes? All right, louder this time. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Louder with some volume. Third time, really let it out. Breathe in. So many of us in yoga and meditation, all these things, we think that anger, as women, right, we can't get angry, or even men can't get angry, or we can't cry. Guess what? That energy will get fucking stored in our body if it is not let out and it is not released. So that is part of what I would like encouraging all of us to do, finding a safe person, a mentor, a guide, a trusted friend that we can just cry, that we can just scream, that we can just pound pillows and get fucking angry. And if you have no one else, use a fucking pillow and scream the shit out of it, because if it's stuck in your body, it will do more damage. All right. At every moment of our lives, we are always doing our best. We are always doing our best. We are always making the best decision for ourselves with the information that we have up until this point, right? Of the information we have up to this point, any decision I'm about to make, it is going to be in my best interest. I am going to step into what is best for me, for you, right? So, sometimes where we get stuck, where we have a pattern repeating, is because our little child self had a decision with the limited knowledge that he or she had in the world. And they unfortunately took on things that were not theirs. I'm not lovable. I'm not safe. I'm not okay. This was my fault. All these decisions based on the limited knowledge that we had until that point. And these beliefs, these thoughts, these ideas continue to patternize. They reinforce that belief in the real world. And we continue to grow up, and then we're an adult, and we're still living in this pattern of a decision we unfortunately made when we were 5, approximately, yeah? And so, this decision that we made is keeping us back. It's keeping us small. It has our insecurities. It says this is a shadow. I should not be big and smart and tall and possible and big and ginormous and amazing because I'm not good enough. And I'm small, and someone's gonna hurt me emotionally, physically, something. And these things are not true, and they are not fair, and they were not right. What that person did or the outside circumstances was not okay. But as you, as an adult parenting yourself, if you continue to stay in that belief, that is not okay, right? So, I would like to share a little bit about my story. There's fear, which is located in the gut. sadness is located in the heart. I have parents from Detroit. I was born out of wedlock. They were uneducated. I am the first person in my family to graduate high school, let alone go on college. They were very poor, both financially as well as with resources. If you don't graduate high school, you don't have much to offer. And part of my story was that my mom preferred my sister, blatantly so. I got a lot of psychological abuse, even physical abuse, and I wasn't protected by my father. So I didn't get the nurturing or the nurturing mother. I got the abusive, cruel, you are not okay. You are not lovable. There is nothing that you can do. Your sister, somebody else, is always better than you. So that manifested in my life, right? Like every partner I ever got pretty much said, I will not choose you. I pretty much believed I was unlovable. Or I attracted men who would belittle me just as my mother did, make me feel small. So it's, a lot of people, there's like one turning point in their life, something major happens and they decide this isn't the way I'm going to be anymore. And for me, there was a lot of moments like that. I can't pick any particular one. I'm gonna try. Letting my ex-husband, who was psychologically abusive, and I knew I did not want to live the rest of my life this way. That's all I knew. But the hardest thing I had to do was just repeat the words, I don't want to be married to you anymore. And I had to stick to my guns. And at first he's like, what are you talking about, right? I don't want to be married to you anymore. And they tried bargaining with me, right? All the stages of loss starting to happen. I don't want to be married to you anymore. Hardest thing to walk away from somebody who made me feel this big every single day. And I'm very, 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 very fortunate that I did. Later, I had a workshop that I attended, and she took us on this guided meditation. And you're in a junkyard, and you're picking out various things that are symbolic in your life, and then you come upon the chest, and it's something that's been missing from your life. I opened this chest in this guided meditation, and it's my heart. I had buried it deep in a junkyard, in a box, buried under the ground, because anyone who loved me hurt. Love was a hurtful thing. So if I had to experience that lack of love, lack of feeling special, lack of my own heart, to now step into a place where I've faced all of these things. I faced my shadows, that I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not lovable. And I looked him in the eyes and I said, you know what? That's a goddamn fucking lie. And you know what else? If I had to learn all of those lessons so that I now know what love is, and I will not accept a relationship that does not meet my standards now of what a loving, caring, nurturing, fucking amazeballs partner looks like, then you are not welcome. And I now have clear boundaries, and I can set that as well. Okay. So, at some point in our lives, we all have different stories, and I'm gonna imagine it's approximately, usually 3 standard deviations around the age of 5. Around 5 years old, like a physical scar, we can remember when we got that scar, right? Like you remember, I fell off my bike at 10 and I got this scar. We have emotional scars that are the same way. So when I hold space for somebody and we start doing the shadow work, we start diving deep, We allow for whatever to show up, and we look for that emotional scar.